Folks, I'm talking a bit about why openness matters, which feels a little bit like I'm preaching to the converted, so I'm going to focus more on the actual practice of this kind of thing with a little bit of perspective. For me, kind of a simple-minded approach is that openness means being transparent about what's going on, means telling folks what's happening, and that needs to lead through to accountability and then actual action about things. That means you do things like you disclose very publicly and very online what's going on. You talk about what you're doing, you talk about where the money comes from, you talk about where it goes and how effective its use is, that kind of thing. And you know, it's an everyday kind of thing. You just don't do it for a few days and throw up some numbers. You have to do it pretty much literally every day. A bonus of this kind of transparency and accountability is that sometimes you take a good look at how you're doing things and then you find things to fix. My attitude about this, in a lot of respects, is set by the Best News team on TV, where they were talking about watching a cable news reporter interviewing politicians. And this newsman said something about, well, you know, the reporter's interviewing the politician or whatever, and the politician isn't being real straight with him. And he's thinking it's just like when you go to the zoo and the monkey house. You know, you look at the monkey house and you see monkeys flinging feces around, and you think to yourself, well, they're monkeys. But if the zookeeper standing next to you doesn't at least say something like, bad zookeeper, you have a problem. So to make transparency happen, to make this kind of accountability happen, what we need to be, well, we all need to fulfill the role of zookeeper to some extent, to get real about this in a bunch of areas. I'm talking mostly about government here. You know, the deal is we have organizations like Sunlight Foundation, my disclaimer being that I'm on the board there. There's other groups too, like the Transparency Caucus on the Hill. The idea is to find lots of ways, sometimes new ways, to tell people what's going on in a government agency, to follow through, and then the usual result is to get it fixed. In the VA, they're doing things like doing customer service using social media like Facebook. And you can go to the VA page, and among other things, you're going to find a directory of VA pages for pretty much every medical center in the country. Tangentially, I'll say that the VA needs your help in showing this to actual veterans because they have a lot of capacity that's not being used. There's a disconnect, and they need to help you. They need your help getting the word out on that. This applies to other areas, not just government, because we've got a lot of nonprofits out there which need to be a lot more transparent about their operations. They need their own zookeepers, and they're getting online, measuring not only kind of trivial financial responsibility, but the effectiveness of nonprofits. Take a look at what Charity Navigator's doing. Take a look at what GuideStar's doing. And for right now, if you're a nonprofit, take a look at greatnonprofits.org, because they're like the Yelp for nonprofits. People are starting to do user reviews, sometimes of your nonprofits. So the deal is, again, I'm preaching to the converted in a lot of ways right now, but I want to ask a favor of people. My fellow nerds, we've been providing the tools for transparency for some time, for getting the word out there, ever since we started with that Gutenberg guy. The people here, there's a bunch of organizations I just mentioned, especially if you're a nonprofit, pay attention to those kind of things. The deal is a lot of stuff's happening right now. Do what you need to do. If you're in the press, well, find the right zookeeper and do what you need to do. Our challenge overall as a people is what it's always been in a democracy. You find the people who are the disenfranchised, the powerless, the people who've never had a break. Some people call them the little monsters. They may play a much larger role in this whole operation than we think, and it may be time for me to bring this up with the mother monster. I don't know. But whether you're a nerd, or you're here and you're an open government fan, or you're operating in a slightly monstrous matter, there's a lot of groups going on right now, doing a lot of good stuff. Do what you can to help out. Get ready to call out the bad zookeepers. Me, I got to do some customer service now. Thanks.